Hello, waifu. I got the stuff working. The ownership working. So that's going. Yeah, and these are images, so they can be replaced, which I'm going to test in a bit. But first, I want to mark the dead stones. Okay. Okay. End this. Got it working, so let's move on. Look at this function. Ah. Look at this function. In this function, I want to um, I want to call this when the ownership threshold is high enough over a stone that already exists of the opponents. So for each intersection, let me paste this. For each index, I want to check if a stone exists. Actually, no. I need to do this in the Gobon. In the Gobon class, play the ownership heat map. This is in my Gobon class. No, I already have a catch for that here. Gotta catch ChatGPT after what's actually happening. Okay. In my Gobon class, for each index, I want to get this.game and get the move at that x y coordinate and see if it is a stone. Then if it is, I want to check who is the owner, black or white. If the other color is the owner past a certain threshold, say 0.5, I want to add a mark to it. Does board have a board.size? I don't think it does. Oh, it does. Okay, size equals size. Okay. Okay, so in my Goban class, before we display the ownership, we're going to display dead stone. We're going to say mark dead stones. Hello, amused. I'm just going to take in an ownership array. And I think that's all it needs. And it's going to be this dot mark dead stones ownership array. Say hi to the kitty. Hello, kitty. When you have the ownership array, you can mark the stones that Catago thinks are dead. Right now, you can see that it does a heat map. So it's showing who controls the section of the board. And I'm adding to it to say when there's a dead stone, put an X on it. So this is an ownership button. Like when I play something out and click analyze, now it'll take a second to load. And then click ownership, it'll tell me who owns it. You would think. But apparently, this is where I was testing the scores earlier today. The ownership does not follow the same logic as the score. The ownership just says what intersections Catago think is being controlled. But Catago also has a score function, which is completely different function that says, here's what I think is the score, or here's who I think is going to win and by how much. From this ownership position. So it actually takes the ownership position and then predicts what might happen in the future and then establishes a score from that. So the ownership position actually isn't the score, which is counterintuitive. So this is not a score. This is just me displaying a fake score estimator. This is me displaying what's looking like what is happening, but it's not actually a score estimator. It's just a control estimator, if you will. This is a control of the board. It's not a score of the board. And I didn't find that out until this morning. So who knows? Because apparently the ownership is 5.5 in Black's favor, but the score is 2.4 in Black's favor. So what do I know? Right? What do I know? I have no idea. And let's say we play M15. It's because it's 5.5 right now. Let's say we play M15. Analyze position and then test 5.14 instead of 2 point whatever. Right? It's just it's not quite accurate. This explains why Fox score estimator is so awful. Is because it's using a different function entirely. Which is really funny because everyone's going to think this is a score estimator and it's not. So I'm going to have a different score from this variable that doesn't actually take into account this. This is just an ownership. Yeah. Influence estimator. That's a good way to put it. This is an influence estimator. But it doesn't actually count the score. The score is a different function. So probably I can display the score of this current position, getting it from here, but the ownership value is not the score. It's just a control. Yeah. Now I'm adding on dead stones if there are any. That's what I'm currently working on. Okay, so we have marked dead stones. But yeah, that's what I'm currently doing right at this moment. I will say one thing that I was doing yesterday is I had the start review button. So you click on black and it'll get your top mistakes. And then you just click on the next or whatever and it'll go to your mistake. Next, it'll go to your mistake. And then you could say, here's the human moves that you could have played instead. Or here's the AI move that you could have played instead. But I've been studying chess.com and if people find this tool actually useful for reviews. And all the people are like, don't ever use this. Review it with the graph and manually. Don't ever use the next tool because it jumps to your mistake and then you're just going to click show me the answer and you're not going to think about it. So apparently this is an awful review tool according to chess players. So I'm kind of bummed about that because I thought it was cool. You go to the mistake, it says show me what the AI would have played or show me what the humans would have played. That's funny that that's a human move. Yeah, I think the human move's cool. Yeah, and then go to your next mistake. And see what the humans would have played. Human would have played an Atari. Show me the AI move. AI says go over here. Yeah, but apparently this is like kind of a brain dead way of reviewing a game where you're not actually thinking about it. You're just like, oh, this is the answer. Oh, this is a mistake. This is the answer. This is a mistake. This is the answer. But it's not actually like sticking. So apparently this is a bad review tool according to chess teachers because it's just giving you the answer too quickly, which is a bummer because I thought it was a really cool feature. It jumps to your mistakes and then tells you the answers. I thought it was a cool feature, but apparently it's bad for you. So I'm kind of bummed about that, but right now I'm working on a heat map. Yeah, it's just a brain dead way of reviewing your game, which actually isn't going to help you all that much, which really, really sucks. Okay, so index is blah, blah, blah. Ownership is blah, blah, blah. Get the stone, this.game.get stone. Determine the stone color. Stone is black, stone is white. Store the ownership. So black owns, ownership is greater than or equal to ownership threshold. White owns ownership. Okay, where's the ownership threshold? Where the heck is the ownership threshold? It doesn't exist. It does not exist. Okay, so we're gonna create that. Is opposite ownership, then this.board add mark x, y. And this is going to take a type, which is going to be, I don't know what the type for X is, now that I think about it. Hmm. I don't know what X is. Is it mark? Triangle, square, label, circle, mono, shell. Yeah, I guess it's mark. So MA. So MA. And the color is irrelevant. Okay, and we're going to say ownership threshold equals 0.5. Add that to the Goban class and hope it just works the first time. We might have to switch. Yeah, pretty much. And then honestly, it'd be helpful if you tell me like what you actually use and what you don't. Because I need to make it usable for Dawn players, so the Dawn players will tell the Q players to use it. So it's important that I make the Dawn players happy. So if there's something you would like from like AI Sensei or Train, yeah, this is meant for like a 5 to 10 minute review. It's actually not supposed to be super in depth. Like Train, you can do like 10,000 playouts, and this doesn't do that. Fudge, why does it never work? This .game.getStone is not a function. This one's technically about 260 for speed, which is about high Dawn, low pro. So it's really, really strong, but it's not like insane. It's not 9p, if that makes sense. It's just like pro, basically. So this is a pros analysis, but it's not 9p. The human moves are hit or miss, honestly. Especially if you're losing. The humans get really stupid when you get like 50, 60 point deficits. The humans are like, we should resign, but since we can't, we're going to play something really stupid and hope it works. All right. But yeah, this one is technically 260 or 280, I forget. And I could raise it, honestly. Like, I could say, hey, if you're premium or lifetime, which I believe... Are you lifetime? I forget. I could say, hey, maybe you get more playouts or do a deeper analysis or whatever. And technically, I could do that. I could even... I don't have this function built in, but I have the capability of saying, hey, start the analyze, and every second it will update the analysis, and it'll go for as long as I tell it to. So I could say, hey, run an analysis for 30 seconds, and that would just constantly update the analysis every second for 30 seconds. So that would go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper 30 times in a row. And technically I could do that, but I'd have to freeze the page while it's doing that. And I don't know how good of a user experience it is, considering it can be just a couple seconds to get a pro review, or you can click a button and get a really in-depth review that would take much longer, but it would be, you know, more powerful. And that one could go up to like 1,000 plus playouts. If we wanted that feature, if like it was desired enough, I could add that feature. Okay, so this .game class does not have a getStone function. So where's my documentation? We want game.get. So game.turn, game.play, game.pass, game.isValid, is on board, add stone, remove stone, set stone, get stone. There we go. Game.getStone xy. Okay, so this is going to be in our Gobon class. Going to be this dot game. This is a game class. Dot Kifu reader, I believe. Is it Kifu reader or Kifu reader copy? I think it's Kifu reader, right? This dot Kifu reader dot game. This dot game dot Kifu reader dot game dot getStone. This dot game dot Kifu reader dot game getStone. You know, naming variables is hard. Naming stuff is hard. Okay. GetStone is not a function. Oh, fudge. I forgot. Forgot. This is GetStone with a lowercase g. GetStone with a lowercase g. My bad. My bad. Try that again. Okay. So the ownership worked, but the mark did not. So let's switch X and Y and see if that fixes it. It did not. Let's lower the threshold then. Instead of 0.5, let's put it to 0.1. Because we want to see if it works, right? Switch back X and Y. Maybe it was correct. How am I going to test this? Let's put a circle on every single stone and see if it's got the XY correct. So we'll test the XY first. Okay, so the XY is correct. Stone is black. Stone dot color. What if we do stone.x, stone.y? Make sure the stone's coordinates are correct. That would be a no. Oh, it only means it's only returning a single number. X, Y. It just returns a color. So it's not stone.color, it's stone, which is a number. Equal to black, equal to white. or stone is equal to 0. The 0 means there's nothing there. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted. That fixed it. Get rid of the test. Put that in. And now it should just work. And then we'll have to get some game examples to figure out what the threshold is. Or what a good threshold is. There we go. And that stone is dead. Yay! Okay. Now we need another game example with a bunch of dead stuff. OGS, give me some games. Osseous. Give me dead stuff. I need dead stones. Ooh, this will be a good example. Yeah, this one should be difficult. That looks great. That looked like it worked really well. Cool. Now for a fun test. Let's see what happens when I switch the images to something fun. So let's upload some images. We're just gonna start calling these by number. So let's do fire. And I guess this one's grass or whatever. I don't care. Let's see what these look like. Hey, look at that. That works perfect. That works perfectly. Oh, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. Okay, so now let's upload a bunch of pictures, and then later I'm going to let my wife decide which ones the users actually get access to or not, because she said I have too many. I have like 107 images that I was going to let people select from, and she says that's too many, so she's going to get to be the image killer. But these could look really cool. Once I get a couple like to cats or whatever, we can see what that looks like. Or flowers. Let's get through these first ones. Now 12 is cool. Reminds me of Color Ghost Server, honestly. That's what inspired this idea of images and colors, because I like the way Color Ghost Server did it versus other people just having squares. I liked the blend a lot more. So I made it blend. I'll almost do the flowers. Okay, so let's see here. Which one do I want to test? I think maybe 15 for black and 20 for white. Do 15 for black and 20 for white. Let's see what that looks like. Ownership. That's kind of funny. You could have a lot of fun with it. Yeah, the flowers for white. I think most people are going to just do black and white, but this is kind of fun. And then if you customize your stones, you can get something that like matches your stones, I think. I think that would be cool. But the wife is going to come through and be a lot more strict about these. So, what number am I on? 24? I have some that are like space and sky that I think are pretty cool. I'm interested to see what the space ones look like when I get to them. Make these a little bit smaller. Okay, and I'm at number 31. $34 of 107. I think it's a pretty cool feature, but probably just a gimmick that sounds good in theory that no one's going to use. Yeah, the default's just going to be black and white for sure. For sure. Yeah, the default's definitely just going to be black and white. This is just going to be a bonus setting. So probably only like beginners or something will get like fun out of it. Now here's something that I'm thinking about doing, which I'm not sure if OGS will like it or not. But OGS has its own score estimator, right? So it's only fair that my users get a score estimator too, right? And my score estimator might come with the visuals. Sounds fair to me. I will say the problem is it would take about 10 seconds to get the score estimation because the bot has to wake up whenever you um, turn it on. Like, you can have the score estimation in about 12 seconds. I don't care if you're low on time. You click that score estimation button, you're waiting 12 seconds. Might be pretty complicated to set up on a different page, though. Because I made this go board better than the old one. And the old one is a lot more complex and convoluted and easy to break, which is why I needed to make a new one. So the new one's set up for this, but the old one would have to probably get into the spaghetti code and add it somehow, which I don't know how. So maybe I won't bother with it for a while. It doesn't seem like a priority. And I'm only one person. Hey, now we're getting some space. All right, I want to see what some of these space ones look like. Let's see, for black, let's try 64. Oh, we haven't gotten to 64 yet. 52. We can try 56 for black. And then for white, let's do something interesting, maybe sky. So 45 for white. Let's see what that looks like. That's cool. That's not bad. Not bad. Not my favorite, but not bad. The white doesn't look too bad. Yeah. Space one, I thought it'd look a little bit better, honestly. Maybe black could try 52. Yeah, some of these don't look as good as I thought they would. Definitely an unnecessary feature that's kind of funny. Okay, that one's better. Yeah, that one's better. Wonder how white 40 would look. Eh, could be better, could be worse. I think some people probably like doing their own thing. I think most people wouldn't, though. Let's try black 8. That's passable. A little bit distracting, honestly. Solid color definitely feels a little bit better. What about 12? Lava looking. Not quite. Not quite. It's cute, but not my cup of tea. Not for me. Oh, 15? That one's not bad. It's got a little bit of a cool factor. What about 34, which is dragon scales? Maybe some people would like it. I definitely don't. I definitely prefer like solid colors. I think the last one I'll try is 64 for black. If I got 64 yet. No, I don't got it yet. All right, let's just do basic black and white then. That's going to be the default anyway, is basic black and white. Yeah, that's what it's going to look like by default. Well, wife is home already. Oh no. Oh wait, it's 2:33. Holy crap. Holy crap, time flies. All right, let's get back to uploading these. This is kind of a tedious process, but once it's done, it's done. SD3. Five. Hello, welcome home. Your hand okay? Sorry.
Okay.
No, I hate cake.
It's just a cake.
What? How's a cake if there's no icing?
It's a chocolate cake. Hmm. Okay, maybe there.
That's fine. I should probably eat soon.
You haven't eaten yet?
Nope.
Important.
I have just been coding and streaming. But I got what I wanted done. It actually went pretty smoothly, considering
Right.
how difficult I thought it'd be. Yeah, it's all working.
But yeah, I kept the air conditioner off my hand all day. Tried to use it as little as possible. So I had to use its own because I can't carry
Yeah.
food and I can't.
I don't know what to do about your hand. It just hurts, and I don't know how to help you. Is there cream or something for it?
I could try the arthritis cream, since that's what it probably is. If that helps some.
May as well.
What do you want to eat? I'm assuming you want to eat now.
Buffalo boneless wings is probably fine. Or 2 chicken wraps. Whatever is easier and less painful. And if you can't, it's fine. I'll just maybe have a Pop-Tart or something if you can't. That's 77 out of 107. And I was gonna let you go through. Were you listening to the stream?
Pieces of it.
I was gonna let you go through and like pick out the ones that'll actually be made public.
Okay. Well, looking at what you have on the other monitor, I can already tell you don't need that many space ones. I'll have to see what they actually record though.
Gonna be a lot of testing.
Mm-hmm. Take the chicken.
Okay.
You said you wanted to?
Yeah. I will try to eat too. I got some sunflowers in here.
Ooh!
And some kitty and cat ones too.
That sounds silly.
Yeah, they're definitely silly and very distracting and not going to be useful at all. But they exist if you wanted to play with them. The 20 Qs will love them.
We'll try to.
Have you seen the influence that I got done?
I saw earlier when it was just the black and white and the.
Yeah, that was what I was talking about, was the black and white.
Yeah.
And I even have it marked
You had
dead stones
that, like,
now.
You had that like right at the beginning of the stream.
Yeah. But now it marks dead stones.
Nice. Very nice. Very clean.
Maybe. Now, a lot of these are probably going to get cut. It's fine. It's fine. It's just for funsies. Just a fun little bonus feature. Honestly, I'm doing all this work for images, but people are probably going to be like, hey, can I just change the color instead of just like the image? And I'll probably have to set it up to check, hey, if it's a color, just use color. If it's an image, use image. $90. Almost done. 98. We're getting there. And all these cats. All right, that's all of them. Okay. Which ones do we want to test? We can probably do the cats and see what that looks like. So 103. So we'll do 103 for cats. And what do we want for black? 88 looks interesting. Let's do sunflowers maybe. So 82. Let's see what this ridiculous image will look like. That looks so stupid. That looks so stupid. Oh man. That's funny. All right, let's try 68 for black. See what this one looks like. Do some water for white. Maybe 80. That's reasonable. If you had the right color stones, like obviously for black and white, it's not what you would want. But if you had like reddish stones or something and then bluish stones, I could see that being good. Do 98 for black. and 99 for white. 99 for white should look good. 98 for black is gonna look funny. 98 for black, and then 99 for white. Yeah, I mean, some people might like the flowers. I don't know. The white one looks quite good though. White one's very pretty. Yeah, probably all the ones with images are gonna have to go. Even though, well, I don't know. Cats and sunflowers might be interesting for some people, but definitely the ones with images are not ideal. Do 50 for black. See what that looks like. That one doesn't look bad. That one's kind of cool. What about 16 for black? 15 and 16 are comparable, but 16 is much brighter. 16 might not be as good as 15. Honestly, not as bad as I thought, but yeah. Doesn't quite match all over the board, which is a thing. Yeah, 15 should be better. Yeah, that one's much better. Yeah, that one doesn't look bad. Yeah. All right, let's set these back to default. Gonna be black. Gonna be white. Refresh. Yeah, there's the default. Not bad. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay, Now I should probably add a settings to actually, probably need to get rid of that, honestly, before I do anything. That's a distraction. I was just there for testing. I need to get to my overview. Probably should move on to that instead of like all these images, because the images probably can be done on a different day. Yeah, so let's delete that. Now the button ownership, what do we want to call that? Because ownership is not quite correct. Let's see what we got. Influence, we don't have. Control, we don't have. Moyo is not an English word. Framework, we don't have. What would be a good word for it? Because it's not quite territory. More like control or influence. Right, influence. Let's try influence. Okay, now when we analyze a position, we get the influence button. Now clear should honestly clear the influence as well. Or so when we click clear, we probably want to redraw the go board, right? What function is that though? Do I have a destroy heat map? Nope. I just need to redraw it, but yeah, I don't have a redraw function. Oh. Every time stone graphic updated, how did I do it? There it is. Just copy that. So when I click clear, going to just do that. Good night, Amused. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. That didn't work. Gobon from ID, gobon.board.wgo review board.redraw. Oh, because redraw doesn't get rid of the crap. And the board logic. Do we have a redraw function? No, we do have a display position, but not what we want. I guess we can just do remove heat map. Technically, we shouldn't be doing this. I'm getting lazy. I'm getting lazy, but whatever. Oops. It didn't clear up all the marks. Why not? Hmm. Guess we do gotta display the position, don't we? Gobon, play position, gobon.board.display position, and then position, let position equal gobon.game.keyFoodReader.get position. See if that works. Didn't think it worked first time. All right. Get position is not a function. What is the function? Let's just do game.position. Game.get position lowercase. Excuse me. Crap, that didn't show the last move. So I gotta display the last move. Set last move display, X, Y. On.board. Set last move display, X, Y. Let X equal gobon.game.keyFoodReader.node.x, I believe. Let Y equal gobon.game.keyFoodReader.node.y. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I forgot to ask for that, as usual. Okay, what is Kifu Reader? That is Kifu. I need Kifu Reader. Maybe it's not node, maybe it's move. Console.log gobon.game.kifu reader. Okay, Kifu reader, Kifu reader, Kifu reader. Didn't give me the Kifu reader. What the heck? What am I doing wrong? No, this is my cleanup function. Something is wrong with it, though. The typo, what? Gobon.game. Oh, lay. I put lay instead of let. Mm, okay, node dot move dot xy. There we go. That fixed it. Now, I do have a bug somewhere. Oh, that's eCharts. Never mind. eCharts keeps giving me an error even though it works fine. I'm about trying to load it in advance. Okay, so we can clear. Don't need a console log. Influence and clear. Maybe influence should go below clear. Where's clear? Where the heck is clear? Oh, here it is. Clear. I don't know. How important is this? I don't know how important that is. Hmm. Okay. This is a little strict right here. But I don't know if I need to fix it or not, because it seems fine. Hmm. Gotcha, that's why it thinks it's dead. Hmm. Okay. Next up, we need overall performance. So in our overview, anytime to reset the page, it's starting to lag too much. So in our overview tab, we have our performance, basically. And then we want our mistakes breakdown. Okay, so we want a group. Group. Performance breakdown. Center that. Be a column. Fill. Fit. Minimum fill is going to be 280. Okay. And then this is going to be a style. So we'll call that, we'll put surface 1. And now we're going to put text in here. What do we want? We want this. Brilliant, great, best, mistake, blah, 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 blah. Kara, did you see the text?
Yeah, just right.
We're going to take it in a group. This is going to be group. Perfect. But we're going to call it excellent. Copy that. Actually, what if we just put the move number here and then we don't need the whole breakdown like this? What if we just do that? What if each of these numbers we duplicate? And this should give us the amount that we did. Right? Mm-hmm. It's a little close though. Also, our text doesn't feel centered. It says it is. Make it gold, but Mhm. See how this looks. Hmm. Didn't work. Weird. Why didn't that work? Why is this one the only one's broken? Oh, because I didn't do it on it. Got it. It's hard to read. Good comment. That's hard to read. Better. Yeah, that's easier to read. Oh, it's still not perfectly centered. Crap. Okay, let's do 125. Hmm. Awkward. What? Why can I not? What the heck is happening? Okay. Okay. Not bad. Okay, now let's do whites. Hmm. 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 A bunch of clicking and styling. Bunch of clicking and styling. Kara, how does this look? Ooh, what are those?
Books?
Yeah.
Trials of Apollo.
Trials of what?
Trials of Apollo.
Oh, so it's more Percy Jackson.
Mhm.
Crazy.
Mhm.
We get new stuff now.
Mhm.
Did you read all the other ones?
I got
You're not done
So
yet?
I remember everything that happened.
Gotcha. All right, what do you think?
Like that it's in between bars because it kind of breaks up some of the noise. Nice job, Manicures.
What?
We got a 69.
Oh, shut up. Silly girl. And then it goes below. What is it? Oh, someone's name is long. His name is longer than mine. So many mistakes this game.
Noticed that from their chart.
Mm-hmm. I should probably get the arrow keys working somewhere, right? Oh yeah, and then when this is okay, so that wasn't it. So that's not it. And board A's navigating that? Go on, play out to move. Play out to move. Go on, play out to move. Play out to move should tell the board that we're playing out of variation. JavaScript playing variation. Okay, it's going to take in a number. Trigger an event. It's going to be board ID. Playing variation. Okay, put this in the public coupon manager. And on the board, going to add a variable. It's going to be yes, no. It's going to be playing out variation. Then we're going to have a workflow. JavaScript bubble event. Playing variation, playing variation. What the fudge? I already had one. Okay, I literally already had one. I may not have two playing out variations though. I do. Which means I already had it. Okay. That didn't work. Is this waiting for the function to finish or no? We want an async function. Then we're going to await. No, that's the wrong place. It was starting to rain. Bubblegum, Platinum. Mother fudge. I'm trying to add on a thing that says this will hide when I'm navigating. And,
So you don't have the flickery text?
yeah, the thing you were complaining about. This needs to be an async function. Okay. Now in Gobon, layout to move. This and Get the Gobon class, put that in there. Refresh and see if it works. It does. Wait. Try this. Perfect. Okay. Got all the functionality working basically. It's not mobile ready, but the majority of what it's doing seems to be working like I wanted it to. Now the question is this how I want it to work? Oh, I need my arrow keys. Ah. Arrow keys can navigate equals false. Here's a bubble Gobon manager. Function bubble arrow keys can navigate. ID equals nothing. And navigate equals false. I'm gonna do Gobon dot arrow keys can navigate equals can navigate. And then we're going to get the Gobon. Copy that. And when we're loading everything, okay, Gobon, your can clipboard. Okay. And then can click. No, we're gonna say can navigate. So set board trigger. I'm gonna set yes, no. Can arrow key navigate. Okay, and then this is going to be arrow key navigate. Properties.param1 properties param4. Okay. Game arrow keys can navigate. Arrow key listeners can navigate with arrow keys. Ah. Set arrow keys can navigate. This is going to be can navigate. Copy. Paste. This dot arrow keys can navigate equals can navigate. Save that. Copy that. Cobon class. Put it in here. Arrow key listeners. Only takes one parameter. Okay. That's the Cobon manager. There's a bug. Arrow key listeners is not defined. Right here. Why? Oh, this dot game dot add arrow key listeners. That's why. Okay, go on class. Ugh. Cool, that's working pretty smoothly. Current score would be nice. Before I move on, I need to link everything to the new review page. Let me get this variable OGS game ID. Game list. Player game history. Enable. And go to review. I'm taking a parameter. OGS game ID. Okay, now we're going to go to the game page. Hit the review button. Going to the review page. View button. Going to the review page. Then you go just game underscore ID. Okay. Go to the play online page. Loading group game history. Loading group game history. Go to that. Now workflows. Ooh, this is lagging a lot now. This is lagging a ton. I have to read. Yeah, going through so many pages with so many elements real back to back is what caused it to freeze. Can't handle that much information. Going through game history. Go to game review. Maybe review OGS game ID. I'm gonna go to the home page. Home version 7. Home games. View page. Why is there 2 links? That's weird. I have multiple links. I wonder why. Okay. Now the pages should link to this new one, in theory. I'll go home. Go to my latest game. Start review. Taking a minute. Okay. Automatically goes to black. Review key mistakes. Actually is a human move. That's silly. Not sure how useful this would be to 20 queues, but it's a thing. Again. Okay. Games. Let's put some warnings on the review page. Bats! Welcome, welcome.
Bats Go just raided with 67 viewers.
Am I the last Go stream? I am. Autoban players who sub Atari. Hello, Remy. Well, if you want to see what progress we made today, let me go find a game that's not a testing game. Actually, let me pull up a real game because that's my testing account. Let me pull up an actual game. It's almost ready for testing. Well, the first bit anyway. I'm still not convinced I've got the user flow down. You're reading, huh? Now, if your shape recognition was due to Semego Dragon, that would be one thing. But your reading? Oh, man. All right, so we get the review. You see our graph. And then we click on black because I'm black. Start review, and it starts going through our stuff. The opening's a little bit awkward. It wants me to 3-3 as per usual. It's Bat's favorite move. Second favorite, actually, because Tengen. These are the human moves. Okay. This one was a little bit not good. Says I should have played here, or the human moves. It looks like I played a human move. Okay. Should have 3-3'd, apparently. Any of these is better than my move, apparently. Okay. Human move. Any of those. Show me the AI move here. Okay. Let's start getting into middle game, and we can start seeing some mistakes. Here we go. 5.4 mistakes. Humans considered these? Yeah. So we got this is the AI move. Here's human moves. Then we can analyze the position, actually. So let's see. This will analyze from here, so it's going to show White's ideas. Then we can see influence. We got that going. And the score is 7.2 in White's favor right now. We could play out what the AI think will happen or thinks will happen. Analyze it again. The human moves are 019 basically, and it looks like the AI move is 019. Influence. Yeah, I got the heat map working today. Oh, you want to see something stupid? Check this out, check this out, check this out. This is a feature that I'm not going to work on immediately. And it's really stupid. My wife has to approve it. but it's a really stupid feature that's really funny. Okay, so let's go to analyze. Let's go to influence. Run JavaScript. Okay. So let's pull up some images. Let's do image 15 for black. Image 15 for black. And then for white, let's do 63 looks decent. Okay, and now we do the influence again. Bats doing a drunk stream, huh? Okay, so let's analyze position. Influence. You can see we can change the influence. Let me actually go to the end of the game or something. Analyze position. Influence. There we go. You can make it prettier with images. I think it's pretty interesting. I think it'd be a neat feature, a neat little quality of life. But my wife has to go through and approve the photos. Because, you know, some of them are questionable. Like, some of them are a little bit interesting. Yeah, some of them can be a little bit questionable. So she has to approve the photos. We analyze position, influence. You know what? You don't want these kind of this kind of heat map? I think it's an interesting heat map. I think it's funny. I think some people might enjoy it, but the default is definitely not this. This is impossible to actually judge what is happening, but it's really funny. It's a really stupid feature, but it's really funny. So it has to get wife approved before I release it to other people. She said I can't have all the stupid photos. I can only have some. Yeah, this is something. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to let users set their images for the influence, and they will have access to the ones that my wife approves of. Approves of. But right now, it's just the default black and white. So I'm not really rushing that feature, but it's funny. It's built for that future in mind. This is what I got so far. And that's definitely not bad, I think. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know. Depends on if your opponent believes you or not. Yeah, so this is my heat map. Kata go heat map. Images. This, where is it? Like we got this. There's a heat map that someone else has. Here's a heat map as well. You can see the squares. I don't think these look good at all. All right. Like there's that. Yeah, these are not my favorite.
Cubism just followed.
Thank you for the follow, Cubism. Welcome. The stones bleed when they're about to die, huh? I can only detect when they're dead or when they're not dead. I can't detect when they're about to die. Yeah, this... I like my heat map. I like my heat map. Yeah, I think this is pretty nice. It's not just a bunch of squares on each intersection. It actually blends. My inspiration was Color Go Server, so I really liked how they blended it instead of just having a bunch of squares. So this was my iteration. And by my, I mean fighting with ChatGPT for like an hour to get it working. Ironically, ChatGPT struggled with the X's more than the influence, which is really funny. So I was fighting with the AI for like an hour or two. Like, hey, no, you're not doing it right. This is what I want. Do it this way. You didn't do it right. This is what I want. Do it this way. And I had to actually manually come in and add the X's because it couldn't remember what the marks were. So I had to manually go in and add the X's. And then I had to fix the X and Y because it had the X and Y backwards. And so the heat map was flippity flopped, which was kind of funny. But yeah, eventually with my correction of the AI, I got it working. Paid mode where you get access to Blitz on smaller boards? What? Paid mode where you get access to Blitz on smaller boards to avoid having to play such long games. Why would that be paid? Like, you already have access to Blitz on the play page. See, you have Blitz right here. 30 seconds plus 5 or 30 seconds 5/10s. You love this little dot. I'm really happy with my little dot right there. I love that little dot. I think it's so cute. Yeah. So the review page is almost ready for testing for desktop. It's nowhere near ready for mobile yet, but the desktop is almost ready for the first testing phase. But probably is going to have to go through several tests. The black dot because I asked for black? No, it's just the Blackstone because black plays first. I don't know. It's nothing too interesting about it. It was just what I saw and what I clicked and what I made. I just liked how it animated. Yeah, in the game selection, the Blackstone is just because black went first. That's all it is. Nothing too crazy about it. So here's the thing. I think this is interesting for 20 queues because you get in the game and you say, hey, I'm black, navigate to my first mistake. And it navigates to your mistake and you can show me, you can see the human moves, yada, yada, yada. You go to your next mistake, blah, blah, blah. It sounds really good in theory, right? But in practice, this is going to make you think you're learning something, but you're not actually learning anything. Because I was looking up reviews on how to like review your games and Go, how to review your games in chess and like comparing methods. And basically hitting this next button and then clicking show me instead is like the brain dead way of seeing what the answer is. So it's like opening a math textbook and looking like, oh, here's the problem. And then you flip to the back, that's the answer. Oh, that makes sense. And then you go to the next problem and you're like, okay, I see the problem. You flip to the back. Oh, that makes sense. And then you go to the next problem. So I'm not sure how educational this is. It's definitely user friendly, I think, for 20 Qs, or at least it's better than it was. And it navigates them to a mistake, and it doesn't overwhelm them with mistakes. It just takes the biggest ones. And it shows you an answer. It shows you human possibilities as well, which I think is interesting. And it tells you what the score point is without overwhelming you with information. Hello, off screen. You do get your overview, which is cool. So I got an 81 at 1 Dan level. But at beginner level, I got a 96. And at 8 Dan level, I got a 69. So not quite 8 Dan level. But for 1 Dan, I got an 81. An A to E option. That would be more Go problems. That's the thing, because Also, the human moves, it's not like the human moves are all bad. So I can't really come up with random bad things. It has to come from somewhere, and the Catago only gives you playable moves. It doesn't like it gives you the it doesn't give you the it doesn't give you the bad moves. Yeah. I gotta figure out, like, it's not just this. I think 20 Qs might enjoy this, but it's honestly just probably not going to be helpful. Because I think a Dom player wouldn't even like look at this. A Dom player would be like jumping to the graph, like, okay, what went wrong here? Just lost 17 points. Show me. Actually, go back one. So this one lost 17 points. What should I have done instead? Click analyze position. It says J17. Okay, and then Dawn players will just like analyze it. Human moves are all H7 is a human move. Wait, isn't that what I played? Or isn't that what White played? Yeah, White played a human move, but it's a 17-point mistake. But it's a human move. And it says it's a pro. That's not accurate, by the way. I gotta take those away. 20Q would play J7, which is the AI move, which is kind of funny. Don't be human. Yeah, and then you can just play stuff out. Like for example, black. What if white goes here and I don't know. I go here and white goes here. Now where do I play? Analyze position. Says I should play N6. Okay. So I think this is what the Dawn players are going to use if they use it. Is they're just going to be analyzing the position. They'll be like, okay, jump to this. Analyze position. We could use the influence, but I don't think the Dawn players are going to use this all that much. Yeah, J7. Or we could just play it out. This playout's a little fast, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Tell me how to do it, and I'll add it. Tell me how to add explanations of why, and I'll add it. All I can do is like, here's your biggest issues, and here's what you could have done. Here's what humans would have considered. That's about all I got. But I'm not sure how to make this more educational, more rather than just like giving the illusion of learning. I want it to actually be helpful. But the problem is 20 Qs don't know how to review their games. And what I don't want to do is give a 20 Q a game with a million mistakes like AI Sensei does. They're just like, every move is red. The AI knows what groups are strong and weak. Like, for example, if you click influence, it knows what the dead stones are. What the heck? Why is that dead? Because if you play out the perfect variation instead. Oh, no, that might not be good. If you play out the perfect LLM, no, LLM would not be able to handle this. It would be way wrong. People have tried it. Trust me, people have tried LLMs, and it's like awful. Almost worse than if you had just had nothing. Yeah, so maybe I can lower that threshold because this is a little bit inaccurate. So move 117. What if I raise the threshold to 0.5? The threshold. Ownership threshold. Let's raise that to 0.5 and see if that solves it. Gobon class. Yeah, I really want this to be not just looking good, but also actually helping you improve. Just not yet. Probably soon, but not yet. Analyze position, influence. There we go. Now it's not showing that stone is dead, even though it dies in the sequence. Yeah, now it's not showing. Well, actually, let me go here, analysis. Thought it was maybe it's 119. Either way, it's not showing the stone dead now, which is good. That's not good. Says these two stones are dead, even though they're not dead yet. No games? No. Just coding for me, like 70 hours a week. It's coding, 70 hours a week. This is a little bit not good. So what if we raise it to 0.75 then? Because that's a little bit. It's saying they're going to die, so they must already be dead, which is not right. There we go. That's better. And they do die. Now it shows them it is. There we go. That should be better. There we go. There we go. There we go. Anywho, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. I've been thinking about, I was thinking about this earlier this morning. How do I teach 20 Qs? Like, or 14 Qs or 15 Qs, right? How do I teach 25 to 15 Q? Like, what do I say? And I usually say, like, make a base, don't miss Ataris, watch your second line cutting points. But how on earth am I supposed to teach a 25 Q through numbers? Like, let me find a 20 Q game. It's not 9x9 filters. $25Q. Go to POL. Let's go to a rated game. Here we go. 20. What the heck is that? Okay, that's too short. There we go. Let's review this game. Well, the big thing is I try to not repeat a bunch of information. So for example, in the middle game, I'll have a max of like 4 big mistakes, your 4 biggest mistakes. And I hope that it's not the same move over and over. But a lot of the times the spikes in the graph is just going to be the same move over and over and over. But one thing that helps is the human moves. The human moves give alternatives. I will say sometimes the human move is a DDK move, and I just don't tell you that. Sometimes I just don't tell you that. 20. This is interesting. There's where you're talking about. They missed something. That's like 20 points difference over and over and over. Okay, so we're going to review for white. So I'm a 20 AQ apparently. Let's review my key mistakes. This is not a bad move, but there's a better spot to play. Show me. Yep, respond to that. That's actually not that bad. Human moves, respond. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, next. This is not a bad move, but there's a better spot to play. Show me. That doesn't really make sense to a 20Q. Human moves. These make more sense. But basically, yeah, staying connected. Okay. Next. A 10-point mistake? Oh no, why is it a 10-point mistake? Show me. I could have pushed right here. But there's a stone in Atari. I guess it's too small to capture. I could have pushed and tried to cut black right here. What about humans? The humans would all push and cut right there. Okay, makes sense. But the thing is that, okay, makes sense and move on doesn't like reinforce it in your head. That was the issue with that the chess player said, was you just click through, see your mistake, look at the human moves. That's a human move, that's funny. It says the AI, you should cut. You're like, okay, makes sense. And then you just go to the next one. 7.4, you should block up there. Okay, one stone's too small. Human moves, it's really funny. Like I said, sometimes there's DDK moves in the human moves. It's kind of funny. But it makes the 20Q feel justified sometimes, which is not the end of the world. And then they move on to the next one. The human moves are from Catago. I don't know beyond that. You'd have to ask P-Dubs. Because P-Dubs built it for me. I wonder if I should, like, I'm also thinking about having a score bar right here so you can see the current score. Yeah. So these are the human moves. This is the AI move. You're like, okay, but what if they go here? What do I do? You punish. Okay, that doesn't help me. Human moves. T7, R7, or there's R7, T7, there we go, T7. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know. Some of them do care and actively try and still struggle, which is a thing. I don't know. Honestly, like almost every move is a mistake. But, oh, and then you can click on overview, see what your performance is at level 0. Level 28. Yeah, level 0. 66. Okay, could be worse, could be better. Yeah. And if I'm 1 done, I got a 30. If I'm 8 done, I got a 20. There's 8 done. And so they would probably have theirs set to 0 or 1 automatically. And if they want, they can click on the moves tab, let it analyze the moves, and they can jump down to their mistakes. I'm like, okay, here's a mistake. Coach, tell me why. Okay, I don't know. I feel like the Dawn players that get more out of, or the strong players that get more out of this than 20Qs. I don't think the 20Qs are going to use anything but these 2 tabs. I should probably pop this up in their face to give them like before you get into the thing, like here's how you did. And now start your review. And then you click next. I don't know. 31-point mistake. Holy crap, what did I do? Show me. Oh, I should have killed these 2 stones. Okay. Human moves. All right there. Got it. Does the palette change too, or just the thresholds? The color palette? No. The all of the thresholds for each color stay the same. It's just yeah. It's just how many you made at that level. So the threshold for each color changes. Okay, let's see how useful the review tool is for... Which color are you? Are you black or white? White? You don't know? Question mark? White question mark? You're not sure? This is one annoying thing. It takes a good second to wake up and review the game. Maybe people will be patient with that and be like, okay, they're thinking about my game. Maybe it's acceptable amount of time. Okay, so we are white. Start a review. Now this could definitely play out slower, I think. The heck? Not a bad move, but there's a better spot to play. There's a progress bar on the top of the page. I don't know if you saw it, but there was a progress bar on the top. Hopefully it's not an issue. Okay, what could I have played instead? Here, huh? That doesn't make any sense. What would humans play? Yeah, that's what you should do. Now, the reason this is good is because if you play right here, you're blocking your base. Right? That's one thing I got to do as well, is I got to add tools for teachers. So you can draw a pin or whatever and have triangles and squares, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, you should play here to block your base. Right? Is this actually your game, or is this just like an example that you were giving me? I can't analyze my games like you. What? Oh, cool. What do you mean you can't analyze your games? Are you talking about this? You can't find this page? Yeah, so this one is not a bad move, but there's a better spot. That is because it wants you to take away the base of this one. But let's see what the human moves. Yeah. That's because this page doesn't exist yet. I'm building it. This is the next feature that's going to release. So this is my version test website. This is not public yet. Yeah. It's still being worked on, but it's almost ready for testing. It's almost ready for the first phase of testing for desktop soonish. Not quite yet, but soonish. Yeah, so these two are the ones that make sense, right? These are the human moves. So first off, playing right here takes the base of these black stones, right? Because if you don't, and you fix your cutting point, black makes a base, you see black's alive. Black neglected to make their base, so you could take it away from them. But honestly, I don't hate this move, because this move fixes your cutting point. Now, the human moves say here, and that is because they don't care about the cutting point because they can attack it. But I'm going to encourage you at this level to just fix your cutting points. And then they probably will go out so they don't get surrounded. And then you take their base. And if they make their base, it's fine. You can just extend and make yours. I think that's fine. Now, obviously, this is, or not obviously, to stronger players, this is a bad move. But for your level, I think having a base or an extension from your wall is going to make your life a lot easier. Because a wall without an extension is harder to use. Okay, so let's go to the next mistake. I understand this one. Let's see. Human moves. Yeah, probably it just wants you to block directly, honestly. So basically, instead of this one, it just says, hey, don't let black expand. Like, you see how you were keeping the base cramped? Versus this one, black can expand on the second line and make their base bigger. I will say, going back a couple moves, you neglected to fix that cutting point. The reason I'm pointing it out is because now you have a cutting point here. Now you have a cutting point here and a cutting point here. So now you have two cutting points on the same dragon, which is a string of stones, basically. So you have two cuts on your dragon, or two cuts on your string of stones. So a 3, technically, if you include that one. So yeah, you have two to three cutting points on the same group. It's starting to become an issue. So probably just start fixing cutting points. Like here, and then this one, technically, you can connect like that and attack if you want, but because you don't have the ladder, because the ladder goes to this blackstone. And I guess you extend when you don't have the ladder. Otherwise, you can just fix it, so that way the cut is fixed. That would be a way to do it. But yeah, you're starting to get too many issues, is the problem. Yep, yep. This one should be here locally, because when they go here, and you save your stone, they can technically get close to an escape route. There's not an obvious net for you for this level, right? There's not an obvious net. Additionally, it is not a ladder, I think, because the ladder should go to this blackstone right here. So it's not a net or a ladder, which means you did not actually protect the cutting point. So protect the cutting point. It's all about cutting points and bases, basically. Okay, so this is one stone touches one stone. You probably want to extend first before blocking, because you need liberties. Because one stone touching one stone, you have cutting points. So let's push right here. See how you have a cutting point right here and die? Versus you have a cutting point right here and now you're cut. So you have too many cutting points. But if you had gained liberties first and then blocked, now you only have one cutting point. And it's a lot easier to handle. It's a lot easier to handle. It's a little bit easier. If you run into double Ataris a lot, it's because you keep playing these cuttable, you keep leaving cutting points, or you keep playing a Hane, which is a bend around a stone, where you bend around it with a cutting point off of a cuttable shape. So a knight's move, so 2-1 or 1-2 is a cuttable shape. Okay, having one cutting point is possible, but when you play a Hane, which is this Hane shape right here, that has a cutting point as well. So what you did, you just played a knight's move into a Hane, so you played a cutting point into another cutting point. That can lead to multiple problems. Yeah, now you're getting in trouble because you have so many cutting points. Like, if black keeps pushing right here, now you have 3 cutting points on the same string of stones. So even if you learn all the big moves, these contact fights is what's going to cost you positions. All right, so let's see what the next mistake is. Let's see what the next big mistake is. Okay, this one was not a bad move, but there's a better spot. Okay, human moves. This says to fix your cutting point. Makes sense. This one is maybe a little bit above your level, but this one says fix your cutting point. That makes sense. What does the AI say? AI says do the high level one. That's fine. So yeah, if you go here, you are connecting your pieces and fixing your cutting points. And now you got cut, so you're in trouble. Not a bad move. Let's see the human moves. Connect your cutting point. AI move is over here again. So honestly, the AI move is less useful than the human moves at this level, is what I'm seeing. So yeah, it wants you to fix your cutting point. Human moves. Looks like you played a human move, so it's not bad. Like, it's not that big of a deal. If you play a human move in the air, it says, see, it's not a bad move. There's just a better spot. It's not that big of a deal. Because it was a human move. Okay, human moves. That's a lot, but it looks like, I would say you're leaving a cutting point, honestly. But it looks like this one, it wants a lot, I guess, to deal with the influence. But up here, these probably make more sense, especially this one. Because this one you're saying, hey, I'm going to threaten your cutting points. So maybe that one would make more sense to you. But yeah, maybe the human moves are a little bit more educational. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this would be useful to you without guidance. 13-point mistake. All right, this one feels important. Human moves. Capturing the cutting stones. Okay, that makes sense. Pushing into the area and pushing into the area. So this is looking at the big framework. So that also makes sense. The human moves makes sense. AI move, it just wants you to get into the big area. Yeah, the problem is if I put both in the same thing, if I put a blue move and then a bunch of human moves, people will probably always navigate to the blue move. I'm just not, I don't know. I'm actually not sure. Okay, 16 points, human moves. Yeah, it basically wants you to deal with this area. That's what it wants. I will say there is one more little thing, which is when you play right here and walk in, notice how these 4 stones are getting cut off from their friends. So imagine like one more move. Yeah. Yeah, and the idea is it's not supposed to show you every mistake. It's just supposed to show you some big ones, or your big ones. It's not supposed to show you every single mistake, because it's not trying to overwhelm you. It's trying to make it reasonably reviewable. 28-point mistake. Okay, let's see what the human moves are. It wants you to protect your stone. That makes sense. I don't know, maybe this is educational. I don't know, it's really hard to say, okay, yeah, it makes sense, but is it going to stick for my next game? Because a lot of the times what DDKs need are probably game reviews from humans and lectures to show them new ideas. So I think one thing my site's going to definitely need is, like Go Magic, a bunch of videos. I think that will be pretty useful. 23-point loss. Yep. Human move. Says your move is a human move, so it's reasonable, but it looks like the other human move is here. Show me the AI move is here. I wonder if that makes sense to you, because what it's doing is it's saying, hey, if you play this move and black plays here, black is alive with 2 eyes. Versus if white plays there, black is all dead. There's only 1 eye because that is a false eye. I don't know if that makes sense though, or if that would be obvious without me telling you. Yeah, that's the review tool that I've got so far. That's where we're at so far. I might make this public soon just for testing on desktop. Yeah. Another feature that's coming up in this next update that I got to finish is the personalized training. So you're going to start your training. This is puzzles, right? And you're going to do an assessment. So do some quick puzzles so I can learn more about you. Okay. And we do puzzles based on your level, right? And then you get started, and you do some puzzles. Okay, and it tells you how long. Next. Okay. All right, and you can explore. You can see what the explore, blah, blah, blah. And then after you finish, it will give you the results. And then back on the assessment page, there's going to be your results information. So your average results are 46.7%. Average level is 4, so single digit Q because of testing. Average time is 5.69 seconds. I've done a total of 6 assessments so far. And then I'm also going to have buttons that say, make me homework, right? Or load my recent mistakes, or make me homework based off of my recent mistakes. Right, that is going to be on this page. So it'll give you Go problems based off of your mistakes in the assessment. And it's going to show a graph of like what your categories you're good at, what categories you're bad at. But that one's another one that I'm working on that's going to come up soon too, in addition to the review page. But I've been really slaving over this review page first. So yeah, I think it's a cool feature. But I don't know. I don't know if it's actually going to help you improve. I think it feels good. I think the key mistakes makes you feel like you can understand the game a little bit better, but without actual videos and human reviews, I'm just not sure if this will actually make a 20Q review improve or not by itself. Even though I think it'll be encouraging and not overwhelming. And then for the strong players, you can always analyze the position. And I'll probably give more details for strong players as well. Yeah, it's really hard to make AI reviews accessible to DDKs. Influence. Yay, influence. Q5. Makes sense. R9. Makes sense. Q9. Makes less sense. Human moves. M17. Yeah. Honestly, instead of doing this, I need to put the human moves thing again, where instead of like showing the human moves, it puts it on the board like the other one does. So this is probably a thing that should improve. I don't know. It's using Catago. I just get the information from Catago and trust it's correct. Yeah, this is coming from Catago. I don't know the algorithm myself, though. What's wrong with Q9? Oh, you mean for black. If black goes Q9, technically it's fine, but technically you're on your opponent's side of the board, right? This is white's side of the board. So you want to be safe. So you want to be on the third line, which is the line of safety, of strength, of territory, right? But if you're on the left, where it's your side of the board, when you have support on both sides, you want to be on the fourth line to develop. So this one would be a little bit not good because this is going for safety when you're strong. So you want to develop. But this one, you don't want to develop. You want to be safe because your opponent's all around. I'm not sure about that, because one thing I got to be careful of is every time you need information or whatever. For example, if I go one more move, I have to hit analyze again. All right, and it just takes a second or two, but the influence will only show on this turn. The moment I play another move, I have to hit analyze again, and then influence again, because it's not automatically grabbing it. The reason for that is I don't want to be grabbing it while you're playing out moves on the board and then having to cancel the call every single time you click if it's not ready, if it's not back yet. I don't know when you're going to stop. And when you stop and then click analyze, then you can get the influence. So if I was trying to get the influence every single stone click to show the change, that would be quite difficult. Because this is actually using Katago's influence, and I have to ask Katago about the position. Third line, fourth line principle? Okay. I can show you that. Let's say I'm right here, right? So this is a little bit far because it's 1 stone jumps 3. But let's say I wanted to fix it. Now I would go fourth line because I have support on both directions. I would go fourth line. Versus here, this would be flat. Because here you had support on both directions, you can develop. So here you had support on both directions, you could develop. But here I didn't have support on both directions, so white can start undercutting me. Let me check my API. So there's different API calls, right? The analyze position, the analyze button is getting the analyze position, which is much more detail of the position. Its focuses exclusively on that position. And that gives me ownership, a list of ownership moves. The review gives me a quick analysis of every position very quickly, right? And that gives me scores and blah, 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 but it doesn't look like it gives me the ownership every single move because that would be potentially a lot. Additionally, if I was hovering a stone or clicking a stone, that would be a new position that you have to ask Katago for. Sometimes in a teaching game, Codtrain shows a red influence map to show the expected loss of points for a move. Let me open Codtrain. You also have to realize Codtrain is working in real time, whereas mine, you have to ask the server for a question. Yeah, thanks you for hanging out. So like you're saying if I do what? I don't see a red influence map. Where's a red influence map? I'm not sure what you're on about. Teaching game. Oh, a teaching game. That is going to be another feature not on the review tool that I'm going to build. So the way I'm going to build it, I don't know how Codtrain does it, but the way I'm going to build my coaching tool is what I'm going to call it. I have a coach tool idea where you're going to play against Katago at different levels. I'm not sure how to make it human moves, but we're going to figure that out. And you're going to play against it. But every time you play a move, it's going to do the analyze position before it responds. So every time you play a move, it'll get back the score and if your move's a good move or not. And then it'll say, hey, this is a bad move. Would you like to undo it or not? Basically, that is going to be my coaching tool, a coach that you play against. But I can't do that with the review tool because with the review tool, you can click too fast, right? You can click, 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 click. I can't do an analyze every single click. But on a coach, the way it'll work is you'll click and you have to wait for the coach to play. That gives me time to ask Katago what the position is, like what the position looks like, or what if this is a good move or bad move, etc. Right? So I can get the move information and then click a move Or I can say, hey, this move's a mistake after a couple seconds. It'll be like, hey, this move's a mistake. Would you like to take it back? That is going to be a coach tool. But that's going to be different than the review page. Because the review page, I can't ask for an analysis every time you click the board. That's too fast. It's too often. But yeah, that's going to be another feature in the future. I have to finish the review tool first. But yeah, the coach tool would be you're playing against a bot and it'll tell you when you make a mistake. Let me see if I can do coach. Yeah. Play, let's see, play coach. This is the idea that I'm basing it off of. Play. So we're going to play a move, and it'll play a move, and it shows you the score. Unless it's broke. Okay, so yeah, you had to analyze or whatever. Now I'm going to play a bad move. Okay, well, I expected it to tell me it was a bad move. Here. It's not telling me it's a bad move, but it tells me the quality of the move, but it's not telling me it's a bad move. Anyway, I would stop and be like, hey, this is not a good move. Would you like to try a different move? Would you like me to show you a better move? Or would you like me to keep playing? But that's the concept that I'm thinking about. But that's going to be a future feature. All right, I do have a student coming on in just a little bit, and they are not wanting their lesson streamed, so I will have to wrap it up, unfortunately. I guess we can raid Noelia. That's one I haven't raided in a while. So I think I'm going to wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoyed. Any feedback over the tool, it would be appreciated. It should be like releasing for testing for the first test soonish, if you want to just follow that. But yeah, any feedback and suggestions and testing is welcome, and I'm thankful for it. If you want to support the project, you can do so at Coffee. Even for $1 a month, it helps out. And with that, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.